Obviously very disappointed in the loss today. It was not the way we wanted to send our seniors out, but that's a very good team across the field this afternoon, and I think Coach Hawkins has done a very nice job with that program. They're improving rapidly, and I know that this program will do the same in a year from now. Obviously, does not help for today. We just did not play well enough to win the football game, right? Offensively, we just couldn't get a rhythm going. Penalties really hurt us. Anytime you have third and 20s, it's not easy to convert. And so, again, we weren't as good on third down, but a lot of it was circumstantial, right? Again, when you're third and 20 or third and 17, there's not a lot of great plays to get you conversions on those downs, and we got put into some long yardage situations, got behind the sticks, and that really hurt us offensively. I thought our defense continued to play really hard. You look at us, giving them the ball on the 10-yard line when we went for it on fourth down, and they only get a field goal. I think speaks volumes about the way that group has played, and especially with their effort. Those guys work their butts off every day in practice, and they show out in the games too. And so I'm very happy with the way that those guys continue to fight just all around. It could have been very easy to pack it up when you're down 27-0 at halftime, and our guys didn't. It's not no, there's no such thing as a moral victory, but you take winning the second half as something. Right, we got after it in the second half and did a really good job with our backup quarterback, who's also a true freshman and has now a lot of experience. So we were definitely in a position tonight where we played a good team and we just didn't play well enough to win. So with that, I'll turn it over to any questions you guys have.
Yeah, pretty emotional game. We had the seniors, but also I assume pretty much big for the young players too. What was it like in your locker room afterwards when you studied them and yeah, what you consider?
Yeah, very emotional. What I said to them is, you're not going to see a coach in America that's going to work harder than me. You're not going to see a recruiting group of guys that are going to hit this off season as hard as our guys will, and we want to honor those guys in that respect. We want those guys, when they turn on the TV or they show up to the dome, when they come, they know the Vandals are going to go win. And I really think that those guys will forever be a part of this program for their contributions. And like I said to them, it's not just this year, right? It's 2 years where I was supporting them as an assistant, a year of me being their fans, and then obviously this year being their head coach. So those guys are very special to me, and we really want to honor that group with the way that we play all off season and the way we play next year.
Coach, Joshua Wood's usually a game changer for you guys, but did he get hurt? Or
Yes.
was the coaching change?
Nope, he got hurt. He had that long run on quarterback counter, which was a great run, but kind of at the end of the play got hit right on his throwing shoulder, and so he was unavailable. He tried to get it going, just could not throw the football effectively, and as much as he wanted to be out there, he knew that our team had a better chance to win with a healthy Sawyer Teeney than an injured Joshua Wood.
So I guess what's your grade on Sawyer? I mean, I felt like he was able to get the offense kind of going. So.
He was. Honestly, I thought Sawyer came in and did a phenomenal job. He had 2 touchdown drives in the game. Those are our only 2 touchdown drives of the game. And so I'm very pleased with the way, a true freshman with, I don't know, maybe 30 snaps. I don't know if he played that many snaps against Portland State, but very excited about the way he played. And I think Vandal fans got to see a little bit of what we've been seeing, all through fall camp and through this year of practice. And so I'm very excited about him moving forward for sure.
As hard as the defense played, that their short passing game gave you problems the whole way. Is there anything you tried that didn't work?
I think they just do a good job spreading you out, and when you're playing some zone, and you're going to give up some of those. Where we needed to be a little bit better was on the third downs and when the quarterback moves. That quarterback is a very good player, and he did a great job extending plays all season. And we just didn't have great eyes in the secondary when we were either in man coverage in some spots or when he did extend the play and move out of the pocket. And so we just got to continue to get better, especially on those third downs. But we've been really good all season on third down. We just weren't quite as good today on defense.
Coach, you talked about how you kind of struggled to get into a rhythm offensively and how a big part of that was the mental mistakes, the penalties.
Sure.
Was there anything else specifically that Idaho State was doing defensively that was keeping you guys from getting into a rhythm?
Yeah, I think they did a good job against our gap scheme stuff. They their linebackers played over the top more than they had all season versus gap scheme. Grant Duff is a very good coordinator. He's been doing it in the Big Sky for a long time, and I think he had some stuff early that just kind of threw us off that they had not shown all season. But once we got more information, seeing what they were doing, I felt like we started to get some things going. But ultimately, those penalties that put us in third and forevers were really what was the difference on offense.
Did having Matt Linehan on the sidelines work out the way you had hoped it would?
Obviously not today, right? We didn't get the win, but I think there was a lot of value. I thought he was able to coach the quarterbacks a lot more. He could be a lot more hands-on. He could, physically watch the film with them, which is something that he was unable to do in the past, being up in the box. So I think there was definitely some positive things about having Coach Linehan on the field.
Looking at Nate Thomas's numbers, I mean, I get it's going to be a real running back in the game today, but having him only have 6 rushes, 3 yards in the first half, and then Charlie McCann in the second half, much better run for him, got 67 yards for sure, and a touchdown. What did you see out of his game that was able to really get going in the second half after not much?
Well, it's kind of like I was saying, when we got behind the sticks, it's hard to run the football. And that's really what happened to us in the first half. We were just consistently behind the sticks. And so in the second half, we really wanted to establish the run. Nate Thomas is a great runner. He's a physical guy, can get downhill, can break tackles, and you saw a lot of that in the second half. And so we really wanted to kind of put it on his back a little bit, especially when you have a true freshman quarterback in there. And wish we could have been in a little bit better rhythm early, because I think that getting him the ball more in the first half would have definitely happened if we could have been in a little bit better rhythm.
Looking back just on the season now, with the whole regular season being over, what aspect of this team are you the most proud of, despite the record not being certain what you wanted to see?
Yeah, the resolve, right? These guys are the most resilient group of kids I've ever been around. Outside of today, every contest this season was decided by 2 or less possessions. And I think that resiliency, especially the seniors, showed, right? Those guys could have easily soured because they're used to winning, right? They're used to going to the playoffs, but they did anything but that. I think they really showed our group how to lead, and leadership is a skill. It's something that you got to keep working on. But I think that those guys really set the blueprint on what leadership should look like and what the standard is around here. And so I think I'm most proud of our seniors and the resolve of this entire group. That's really not a question that I feel comfortable talking about, really. I mean, we have an offensive coordinator, and that's all I'll say. I just think you got to really be objective. You got to take a step back and look at the roster that we had and the lack of experience we had. And I think when you see that and you really truly look at that, some of those early losses, especially in close games, right, that kind of tells the story of a young team. And again, if the ball bounces our way a couple times in a couple of those other games, we could easily be 8-4, right? But at the end of the day, we didn't live up to what we wanted to do, and that's be a playoff team. And like I said before in my opening statement, you're not going to see a head coach that's going to work hard in America to get this team back to the playoffs.
Coach, it's the first time that Idaho State has won and lost there since 1981. How much motivation is this loss going to give you guys heading into that Coca-Cola game next year?
I'm a petty person, Liam, and these are the type of things that will stick with me until we play them again. And so I know that it's pretty easy to motivate guys with this group, but when you lose a game to your rival at your home field, it's going to be even easier. And so we'll certainly use this game and many others as fuel into this off season. And again, I will not forget some of these losses, and we will remember when we play these teams again next year.
Coach, you mentioned it. This is a pretty young team, but how do you keep them together? Is there a message? Is there something that maybe you look back from the season? How do you keep them together when with all the new college,
Sure.
NIL, transfer portal starts in January?
Yep.
How do you do that?
I think the message is clear for these guys. Hey, we were so close with so many of you guys that were inexperienced. You don't have that problem in year 2, right? A lot of these guys are first-year even guys that were like older players, right? 3rd, 4th-year players were first-year starters. And so my message to those guys is, hey, let's band together and show the world what we're really about, right? If we stay together as a group and we continue to build on what we've really accomplished this season, the sky's the limit for this program. And I think a lot of the players know that. And I think, honoring this senior group is something that's really important, not just to me, but I know a lot of our players. So that's really my message, man. Honor these seniors that showed you how to do it. And let's build something with guys that have played now, guys that have experience now. And I don't think you can get the same overall athletic experience you can in a lot of other places that you can here. I know that these guys truly love being around each other. So my hope and my message to those guys is stay together. You love these guys. And if we stay together, we can be pretty special.
Coach, you've already touched on it, but Idaho State did a pretty good job on conversion downs today, 9 for 18, as opposed to you guys who struggled on
Yeah.
conversion downs. Is
Yep.
there anything that they did specifically that was giving you guys a test on?
Yeah, I think they did a good job running their quarterback, right? They've ran him all year, but not quite in the way they did today. I think they had a few more called runs where he was keeping the ball. It wasn't like a run read. He was keeping the ball, especially in those short yardage situations. I think they converted 3 or 4 third and ones or fourth and ones with quarterback runs. And so they definitely did a good job keeping up off balance with the quarterback in that plus one run game.
As you head into recruiting, just in broad strokes, what are you looking for? What's it going to take?
Well, our 2026 high school class is a very good class. We have 18 kids committed. I think out of those 18, I think 16 of them are 3-star players that are completely bought into the program. It's funny because I get texts from those guys and it's like they're on the team already, right? Like, oh, that's whatever, that's BS, or this is what happened here. And so I think that group is where it starts, right? Having a really deep class of guys, and if we sign everybody that we're supposed to, could potentially be the top rated class in the history of the school. And so I think it starts there. And then, right after we get done with meetings and stuff tomorrow, we'll start transfer recruiting. We probably need probably around 10 guys. We've got one of them in the boat. We've got a tight end kid that's going to be coming to the Vandals. And so we'll keep working on getting a couple key positions, right? I think we definitely need a couple running backs, right? Losing 2 really good seniors. You need a couple defensive ends when you lose 3 seniors. Probably need a safety, a corner, and probably take a wide receiver. So we've got some needs there, but the difference between this year transfer recruiting and last year is very different. We needed like 30 guys last year. And this year with a much smaller number, I think we can be very selective and get the right guys that we really need to improve the program.
First downs, 23 for 13, and 4 in the first half. What wasn't working out?
I'm sorry, can you say that one more time?
Yeah. Idaho State had 23 first downs, Idaho had 13, and you guys only had 4 in the first half.
Yeah.
What wasn't working out there?
Like I said, we just got behind the chains. And when you get behind the chains and now you're off rhythm, right? You're off schedule a little bit. And I think that ultimately was our demise in the first half. Awesome. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate you guys all year. And to all the Vandal fans watching, I mean what I said. You're not going to see a man work harder to get this group back to the playoffs. So appreciate all your support all season, and V's up.